I'm
you press
I'm
ask.
gonna record.
I'm recording. It's on.
Recording. Okay, we're recording then. Okay.
Okay, hello everybody. It's Friday, the 22nd of January 2021, and I'm with Anthony Badaloo and Andrew Devine, and we're here to basically update on the progress that we've made recently. And I'm going to hand it over to Anthony, and then we'll have a chat about it.
Yeah, well, so we're on a good streak. So Andy, we had a talk. We done a video, didn't we? We've been doing this thing for years, and we decided all of a sudden to put the that document out that we used to request code files and the computer record. So we put it on library because library allows you to share documents like unsearchable. And we said at the time, if we get 1,000 people to send this document off to verify their court case, 1,000 people, a very small number, that is enough to bring down the fraud system. And then we came on Sean Maguire's program on the radio, and we were in the punk charts, weren't we? And in the global Mixcloud global interview chart.
7th in the punk charts, and I think it was 20, or could have been 15, but 20 in the global charts. So equal to the BBC, that was.
It's unbelievable. So I told you we caught up to the BBC. We are after Channel 4 now. So anyway, the thing is, we then had the crime commissioner. We haven't even tidied up and put out that video on the petition yet. And then lo and behold, Monday morning, we had an announcement. They've deleted 100 and something thousand cases of the police computer. And then on Tuesday morning, they deleted 400 and something thousand, so altogether 500,000 cases. Now, we have a live case, George Carter, where they've been harassing him on this thing. He went in yesterday to the police station for the follow-up interview. We had put the previous interview on library, where they said he spat at the neighbor. His video showed him, he didn't spit at no neighbor. He was looking at dog shit on his step or somewhere. But it's so petty. So he turned up and they said they don't have any record of it there. Now, this is case number 6 in a row that they can't justify against George and have dropped. And they've offered money on a couple already. So it's not the money we're after the justice. So now we have Neelu. And you've been talking to her, Andy, about her case. Explain what's going on with Neelu, with the Attorney General.
Right. So the Attorney General decided to falsely prosecute me a couple of years back. And that was Geoffrey Cox. And then when he went, they've changed it to, and he appointed the Solicitor General, Michael Ellis. And then now they've changed from the Attorney General to the Solicitor General, which is a fraud. I haven't seen the handover. I haven't seen the instructions for either of them. What I've done wrong, I have no idea. I'm not allowed to mention any names. I'm not allowed to mention the case because of the terrorism that I'm going to be subjected to, which I don't want to invite. But basically, this is to do with Sabine McNeil's case, where I went in as a supporter. And it was an unfair trial, and it was without law because the restraining order from a previous trial was void because it collapsed. The trial had collapsed. The jury said we're free to go. The judge sat there behind the jury's back without their knowledge and consent and consideration, and he gave us a restraining order. So they tried to enforce that restraining order at this trial with Sabine. I tried to stop the trial, and I knew it was all based on perjury. The previous trial was based on perjury. Those witnesses perjured, they need to deal with that perjury in the first trial. They need to deal with the perjury in the second trial. And now what they've done is I've come on to mention this fake trial of Sabine's for the second time, and they've accused me of contempt of court or of something. But I'm without telling me who's the injured party, date and time of the injury, and they're using the civil courts to basically to carry out committal. It's a committal hearing on the 10th of February. I don't want to put my friends through that again. They've already been to my hearings twice, and Edward's had 2 or 3 hearings, and these judges, they don't listen to a word you say. They are constantly bombarding you with lies. And the barrister, the prosecutor, shall we say, Mr. Eardley, he's already told Mr. Justice J about Edward. He said, we'll start the trial now, and it will end up with committal by the end of the day. The prosecutor's telling the judge before the trial has started that it's going to end with Edward's committal. So I've had the police officer, Steve Martin, present at one of these in a civil court. He's turned up with the police officer sitting there with their, to handcuffs in their hands at my trial and Edward's trial. They're sitting there with the handcuffs in a civil court. So you can't actually do that. You can't have, because civil jurisdiction is balance of probability 50-50, and criminal is beyond a reasonable doubt. So how they're able to sit in a civil court and do the beyond reasonable doubt, just not listening and just bombarding. I've said COVID-19 can't go ahead. They never listened to anything I said. The barrister's disqualified. There's complaint against him with his professional body. There's complaints against the judges for what how
what's the barrister's name?
Mr. Eardley, Aidan Eardley.
Mm-hmm. So is he a prosecutor or a barrister?
Well, he's the government lawyer. Government legal department.
Listen, Neelu.
Yeah,
listen.
I know.
We have to tighten up the language.
Yeah.
Because, you're obviously putting up a great fight and all that, very, very unbelievable. You're doing a service to the society, which a lot of people are not aware of certain things. And you're but the thing is, sometimes you're talking about the cases as if they're real. And when you're calling him a prosecutor, and you said the Attorney General made a claim and all this is the problem.
Mm.
Where is the prosecution documents that you filed? So you're not a prosecutor, you're an imposter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with the Attorney General. And I don't know anything about Sabine's case, so I can't comment. But to be honest with you, you should write off to the court and ask that you're being, you have a trial based on this case. So you would want the computer record and the claim for this case to verify that it's a valid and lawful case. Because you can't be done for contempt of court for helping on a false case.
Yeah.
If it's not a court case.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Andy?
How can you get contempt of a court means it was a court. If
exactly.
It's not a court, therefore it can't be contempt of something that not is. So that's its logic.
So exactly. This is what is going on with you, Neelu.
Hmm.
You've taken a number of steps. You've asked the Attorney General himself and the court and the lawyer, can I have a copy of what you filed in court to start this claim?
Yeah.
And the computer record. And have you been supplied with it?
No, I've asked many times. They're ignoring it. They're just bombarding ahead like I don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Rolling ahead, which means they don't have it.
They don't have it, no.
Yeah, because on all your letters it says implied admission by the absence of a response. Within 48 hours, you're supposed to get your court file and your computer record.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a year now or more, and you haven't got it. Now, if we extend this same problem with Stuart Russell Cox, he was allegedly prosecuted by the Attorney General for helping a man called Mr. Mohammed Badr. Now, Mr. Mohammed Badr's case is a total fake. We've got requested computer record, nothing can be produced. The council burned two containers of the Holy Quran, which he had to sell in his business, saying they had said they had warrants, and they can't produce the warrant. This is Brent Council. Now, Stuart Cox went to assist him in court and said something derogatory to the judge. It said something like, if you weren't born in the country, you can't be a judge. Somebody's an Asian judge. So the judge called the police and said he was racist. And he was quoting some law in some book, I don't know. So the police didn't find any evidence of racism because he was able to back up what he's saying. Whether he's right or wrong, he's quoting it from a book. So I don't know. But so nothing happened with the police. But then he had papers that the Attorney General took a claim against him for contempt of court to help because he was assisting Mr. Badr. So Mr. Badr, we got a video out on his case on the petition called Brent Council Burns Holy Quran, something like that. Now, Mr. Badr is a great guy. He's a guy of notable importance because he's a guy who actually invented a virus. He's a professor in science, and he invented a virus back in the days, which is used in agriculture. And we want to do an interview with him about the coronavirus at some point. But the thing is, Stuart is requested court documents to where is the claim? Did the Attorney General pay a fee? Mr. Attorney General, did you take a claim against me? Yes or no? So no answers can come. Yet he faced harassment and harassment. So he didn't turn up to court because of COVID. And he had police officers turning up at his door for weeks on end. No warrant, no cause of their purpose. So he never let them in, but they're just intimidating the person. Allegedly, maybe he didn't. What's going on here? Oh, you're finding the yeah. The video. Yeah. So this is the video with Mr. Badr. And that's been on the petition for some time now. So he went to help this guy, you know. And nobody can show him that the Attorney General made a claim. Now, we're going to come back to Edward. I'm just going to go to Edward, then I come to Mr. Ebert. So on Edward's case, I don't know much about Edward's case. I know he's doing a lot of things on a higher level. And from what I know, he's an extremely intelligent, one of the most intelligent persons or people you find in the legal profession. Allegedly, he was kicked out because he's doing the right thing. So I don't know about his claim, but he's being done for contempt of court as well for helping someone else.
Yep. So
now we come to Mr. Ebert, the one and only Gedaliahu Ebert, the author of the book, The Forensics of Legal Fraud. Now, he is a very interesting case because he had allegedly the Attorney General took a claim against him for contempt of court. I think it was something like he made 250 odd claims in 1 year. And they said he made 250 claims. So he said to them, show me 250 computer records that there is 250 claims in the system. They can't show nothing. So anyway, after like 15 years or 16 years, when the Data Subject Act came in, Data Protection Act, he finally got the computer record and the court file. And guess what? There was never any claim against him. Neither on the paper file, nor the computer case management record. No fee was ever paid, no claim laid. So if I was to use that as an example, yeah, there's a lot about him, it doesn't end. Attorney General, yeah? So they publish all these things and they got no foundation behind them. It's a sad case. I don't want to know if the case is sad or happy. I want to know if it's real.
Yeah.
You understand?
Absolutely.
So they have their way to report these things with a sleight of hand and a twisted language. But he got the paperwork. So all I can say based on that, and from the fact that they can't answer under implied admission, Neelu, I would stick my neck out and say, there is no claim issued by the court against you from the Attorney General or anyone else in that case number.
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
I can
There's
say
no
the
proof.
same. I can
No
say the
proof.
same thing for Stuart because he's done the same thing as you and they haven't produced anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for Edward's case. I don't know what he's requested, but he's a very capable guy. Now, let us find a case where they upheld the fact that the proceedings were not valid in recent times. And where do we come to? No other than the great Tommy Robinson. When he was jailed for contempt of court, he did a fundraising and he got £150,000 in no time. And he made the case that he can't be in contempt of court because the proceedings were not followed and were not valid. And he was let out straight away. So do we have one rule for Tommy Robinson and another rule for Neelu Berry? You understand? We're going to put this out. We're going to put it on the petition and we're asking Prime Minister, Lord Chancellor, all of you lot taking the wages, the fake case, we want all the victims, once they request the computer records and they can prove it's a false claim, to automatically be compensated like PPI. It's not a lot to ask. And whoever were doing the fraudulent claims be dealt with according to a jury. Is that a lot to ask? Is that how it's supposed to work in the first place?
A crime's a crime. A crime's a crime. And if the crime has been exposed, the crime must be brought and seen.
Shall we end it there?
We can indeed.
Can I just quickly show this? 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Andy and I were talking about this Criminal Law Act 1967. Section 4 says that where a person has committed any, if you've seen something and you don't do what needs to be done to stop it, you're going to be guilty of an offense. So that's the silence is a crime.
You're an accessory. You're an accessory.
Yeah, exactly.
There's another one in on the American base, on the Title 18. I forget what number it is, but basically it's the knowledge of the stop and correct. If you've been given the knowledge, you're in a position to stop and correct, and you fail to stop and correct, you become complicit in the crime that's been done. So it's
we're talking about enforcement and all that, but let's just stick to the first step. Is there a claim, a genuine and legitimate lawful claim filed in court, fees paid, issued by the court, a valid case number served on the victim? Yes or no? Let us end this warrant terror, this court order scam. Let us end it. So I'm asking you people, we had the crime commissioner on. He said he was not aware of this. So now he's aware. And we see them canceling cases. We're asking you, leave Neelu Berry alone. Listen to what she's saying. She's not 100% wrong. And either prove that there is a case or release all these victims. How many more people is the name of the Attorney General being used? And does he even know about? Well, he knows about it because you've emailed him. So we're putting this appeal. We want the public behind us. Please support us. We're getting some serious traction now. The court is being used. Every scam you look in this country and probably everywhere else, the court is underpinning it. The false use of the court. Either you get a false court document, or when you try to sue someone in the civil court or criminal court, you can't get the order that you need. Wonderful work, Neelu. We got 5,400 wonderful people supporting us, and we're getting warm, we're getting effective. And right now we understand that people in the Nigerian government are looking at the petition, because the last one we did was called Worse Than Nigeria. And we're going to put out the one with the crime commissioner, and we're moving, and we just want to be a better place. You don't want you, Mr. MP, and whoever, you don't want your children growing up with this, trust me. So here we go. There's all these people. The A to Z of the COVID-19 84 scam, that's getting a lot of attention. So yeah, we're asking for your assistance, your support, to share it. We got great material. We need help to get it out and to market it, because we get shadow banning everywhere. And if you don't hand share it to somebody, Google is not going to show it to them voluntarily. So thank you very much. God bless.
Help us help you. Yeah, we'll end it in there.
Thank you.
Okay,